In the intricate tapestry of history, few figures have left as indelible a mark as Adolf Hitler. This man, whose name is synonymous with one of the darkest periods in our world's history, was not just a dictator, but a force that shook the globe to its very core. Emerging as the Führer of Nazi Germany, Hitler's reign saw the world plunged into the horrors of World War II, a cataclysmic event that resulted in the loss of millions of lives. But perhaps the most chilling aspect of Hitler's legacy is the Holocaust, a systematic state-sponsored genocide that led to the extermination of 6 million Jews. This horrifying event, a testament to the depths of human cruelty, was orchestrated under Hitler's watch and remains a stark reminder of his brutal regime. As we navigate the labyrinth of Hitler's life, we will encounter stories of power, manipulation, and devastation. So prepare yourself as we delve into the life of this man who changed the course of history. On the 20th of April 1889, in a small Austrian town, Adolf Hitler was born. The son of Alois Hitler, a stern and volatile man, and Clara Hitler, a gentle and nurturing woman, Adolf's upbringing was far from ordinary. His father's volatile temperament often clashed with Adolf's strong-willed nature, leading to a strained and tumultuous relationship. Adolf was not the obedient son Alois wanted him to be. His heart was in the arts. He dreamed of becoming an artist, much to his father's chagrin. This love for art was kindled by his mother, who always encouraged his creative pursuits. However, his dreams were met with stiff resistance from Alois, who envisioned a career in civil service for his son. This clash of aspirations led to many bitter confrontations between father and son. After his father's death, Adolf moved to Vienna, hoping to pursue his love for art. However, life in Vienna was not as he had envisioned. He was twice rejected from the Vienna Academy of Art and struggled to make ends meet. He lived in men's hostels and sold his artwork on the streets, all the while grappling with poverty and homelessness. However, these struggles did nothing to dampen his spirit or his love for art. During this time, he also developed a deep-seated resentment towards the established order and a fascination with German nationalist ideologies. This was only fueled by his experiences in World War I, where he served as a messenger on the Western Front. The war was brutal, and the experiences left a deep impact on Hitler. He was appalled by Germany's defeat and the subsequent Treaty of Versailles, which he believed was an utter humiliation for the German people. These experiences, combined with his bitter struggles in Vienna, shaped his political ideologies and hardened his resolve. The seeds of Hitler's ideologies were sown during these years of struggle and war. His experiences and the harsh realities of his early life were the catalysts that led him down the path of dictatorship and destruction. The year was 1919, and Hitler found his calling in politics. At that time, Adolf Hitler was just a corporal in the German army, sent to infiltrate a minor political group, the German Workers' Party. Intriguingly, he found himself drawn to this party's nationalistic and anti-Semitic ideology. Hitler quickly became an active member, and by 1921, he had wrestled control of the party, rebranding it as the National Socialist German Workers' Party, or the Nazi Party, as it would soon be known. Hitler was a charismatic speaker, captivating audiences with his fervor and conviction. His speeches, filled with nationalistic fervor and anti-Semitic rhetoric, resonated with a populace disgruntled by the economic hardships and the perceived humiliation imposed by the Treaty of Versailles. Hitler promised to rebuild Germany's economy and restore its national pride, a message that resonated deeply with many Germans. He began his political ascent in earnest in 1923, with an unsuccessful coup attempt known as the Beer Hall Putsch. His trial for treason following this event only served to give him a national platform to propagate his ideas. Sentenced to 5 years in prison, Hitler used this time to pen his autobiography and political manifesto, Mein Kampf, laying out his vision for a transformed Germany. On his release, Hitler began to rebuild the Nazi Party. By the early 30s, the Nazis had become the largest party in the German parliament, and in 1933, Hitler was appointed Chancellor of Germany. It was a remarkable rise for the former corporal, driven largely by his charismatic speeches, political cunning, and the desperation of a nation in crisis. However, Hitler's rise to power was not just the result of his charisma and the desperation of the German people. It was also facilitated by the failures of democratic governance, the complacency of German elites, and the international community's reluctance to challenge Hitler until it was too late. And so, the stage was set for one of the darkest periods in human history. Hitler's ascension to the chancellorship marked the beginning of a reign that would see the genocide of 6 million Jews during the Holocaust and the ravages of World War II. In 1939, Hitler's aggressive foreign policies and expansionist ideology led to the start of World War II. The world plunged into a devastating conflict that would span 6 grueling years, marking the largest and deadliest war in human history. Hitler, at the helm of the Third Reich, orchestrated a campaign of terror and destruction across Europe. His insatiable hunger for power was matched only by his disdain for those he deemed racially inferior. This led to one of the darkest chapters in human history, the Holocaust. Hitler's twisted ideologies led to the systematic extermination of 6 million Jews. The concentration camps, the gas chambers, the mass graves, all stand as chilling testament to Hitler's brutal regime. It was a genocide of staggering proportions, a crime against humanity that the world had never seen before. Hitler's role in these events was not that of a passive observer. He was the architect, the driving force behind these atrocities. His speeches fueled the flames of hatred, his orders set in motion the machinery of death. He wielded his power with ruthless efficiency, transforming a nation into an instrument of his will. Yet despite the unimaginable suffering he inflicted, Hitler's reign was not to last. His dream of a 1,000-year Reich crumbled in the face of Allied forces. These horrific events marked the height of Hitler's power and the depths of his cruelty. By 1945, Hitler's reign of terror was nearing its end. The Allied forces were closing in, and Nazi Germany was on the brink of collapse. In the heart of Berlin, inside his fortified bunker, Hitler was faced with the inevitable. In a final act of desperation, he chose to end his own life. Thus ended the life of Adolf Hitler, a man whose legacy continues to be a grim reminder of the horrors of war and genocide.